Hey guys, Dewey's 24-hour readathon is tomorrow, so I thought I would give a little intro. That way, as soon as I wake up tomorrow, I can start reading. And realistically, the plan is to try to get out of bed around like 4:45 so I can start making tea, maybe get a little bit of breakfast going, and then as soon as it hits 5 a.m., because that's when it starts my time, I can start reading. So I thought I would just do a little TBR. Kind of explain our game plan. Obviously, some things could change during the 24 hours though. I did actually manage to do the full 24 hours last time, and I think I read like 907 pages or something like that. I don't know if that'll happen this time. I am so tired. I've been working a lot and haven't been sleeping great this week, so we'll see if I actually last the 24 hours. Definitely gonna order groceries tonight to have delivered tomorrow, probably get some energy drinks or something. But I went through the bingo board, looked through all the prompts, and found the books that would fill it all. In order to fill all the prompts, I think I only need to read 3 or 4 books. So one of the books is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. There's a prompt that says to read something with an animal cover, and one that's a reread. I don't normally reread books, but if I'm going to reread something simple. There's also one for a children's book. So this one shouldn't take a lot of time. It's a children's book, covers a few prompts. The next book and the longest is Winter. I've read all the other books in the series, so I just need to read this one, but I actually got the audiobook because I thought this might be a good one to listen to while I do other things like maybe work out, do dishes, laundry, chores and stuff. The audiobook is almost 24 hours long. So the plan is to listen to it 2 times speed, bring it down to about 12 hours, and then have the other 12 hours to actually physically read books. The next book is Into the Water. I think there was something about like a standalone book or something. I don't know. We'll get into all of the actual prompts as I cross them off during the 24 hours. And then The Princess Bride. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. This edition actually has some illustrations and stuff. So it should be fun to read, but it is just like kind of a larger book. So we'll see how that goes. I do have other books to potentially read during the readathon. I got The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 10. I like to start my readathons with something really simple. However, one of the prompts on the bingo is to flip a coin for the first book that you read. So I think I'm going to flip a coin for either reading this or reading this because they're both graphic novels slash comics. I guess this is more of a comic bound into a volume, but they should be quicker to read than the other books. And I always like to give myself a little nice boost of energy by finishing something early in the readathon. Both of them I don't think really fulfill any prompts apart from having an even page count, but I'll take it. Then the other book that I actually got while I was in Florida, which is A Middle-earth Traveler. Again, it's a lighter read. It's mostly pictures, not a lot of words. So I thought maybe if I'm getting bogged down, it would be a good one to kind of like break up the bigger reads. The other 2 that I kind of have that fill in a couple prompts is Thunder. It's been on my TBR for a while. And then I've been working on this short story collection. So again, if I want to just like break up the other reading, I could read a short story out of here. So that is the plan. I will probably be wearing the same clothes in the morning because I'm already dressed for bed, even though it's only like 6 p.m. Not even. I think it's like 5:30. But hopefully I'll get to bed a little bit earlier so that I can wake up earlier. We'll see how that goes. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. The readathon has just begun. It's 5 a.m. I'm still making some tea. I did manage to get up a little bit before the readathon, but not enough to get everything situated. So we're going to flip a coin for the first book because it's part of the bingo board. We're going to read either The Girl from the Other Side or The Last Man. Heads will be this book. Tails will be this book. We'll consider this heads. I don't know if I can flip with my left hand. Hold on. Heads. So we'll read this book first. Okay, first book is Red. I gave this 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books in the series so far, but it did make me kind of sad. I don't want to spoil anything in case anyone reads it, but it is a very good series. I highly recommend. With that, I was able to cross off some spaces. So obviously we have the free space. I flipped a coin to pick my first read. I read a book with an even number of pages. There's exactly 180 pages in this book, which also covers the 150 pages, and I read in my PJs. This big boy will be our next book. It is a very pretty book. Where are you trying to go? Hi. What are you doing, miss? What are you doing? I've made some decent progress on The Princess Bride because this is, I think it's an anniversary edition or something. There's a really long forward, so I'm making my way through that. Still not completely done, but it's about 7 now, so we're 2 hours in, and I'm getting kind of hungry. I'm also getting sleepy just sitting here, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm downloading Audible on my iPad, and I'm going to listen to Winter while I do some other stuff. I need to do like laundry, cleaning, whatever, and also maybe like eat a little something since I'm getting hungry. So that's the plan. I'm going to listen to it on my iPad because I film these vlogs on my phone, and the phone will let you record video while you're listening to something. So I can listen on the iPad, record video on the phone, and yeah, it'll all be good.
Marissa Meyer. Read for you by Rebecca Soler.
Okay guys, I've been listening to the audiobook while I do my budget, because I always do that Saturday mornings now. Checked some emails, did a thumbnail for a video that I edited yesterday, but now I'm going to take a bath, continue listening to the audiobook while I bathe. So far I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I've had such a hard time like reading this series. I do really like it, but I always have a hard time starting the book. So hopefully we'll finish it today and I'll be done with the series. I do actually really like it, and I recommend you read it. Cat is... Okay, so I just tripped on my foot. I'm gonna cross off read in 3 separate locations because I've read on the couch. I've been reading, I guess listening to an audiobook in bed, in the office while I do chores. So I'm gonna say that I've accomplished this. I'm also going to say that this current book is a book with a character that shares a similar characteristic, because Winter has a scar and I have a scar. Hers is on her face, mine's on my back, but regardless, it's a loose connection. So we're gonna make it, and when I'm done with this book, we're gonna say I can cross that off. Sorry for the noise, but the Roomba's going, and I would like it to clean the floor. But it sounds like they're gonna do some reading sprints, so I'm gonna get back on the couch. I just finished laundry, all my chores, everything. I did play a game of League while I was listening to the audiobook in between loads of laundry. But now we're gonna physically read. I have about 8.5 hours left of Winter, but I've made some good progress. The reading sprint starts in 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna start reading a little bit, get back to this book, and we'll see how far I can get. Lunch today is leftover pizza and salad. And I finally made it into the actual story of The Princess Bride, and I'm realizing the edition I have is, I think, an abridged edition. So I guess the author, not the author, the guy who abridged it. So his dad read the story to him when he was 10, stuck in bed with pneumonia, which is where they got the movie from, because he did the abridgment and then he wrote the script for the movie, I guess, and it turned into a movie. So it's kind of cool reading the foreword. But I guess what his dad did when he was 10 was his dad read him the story, but he skipped all the boring parts. So I guess there's a lot of like history and family history and stuff like that that's in the book. And it, later as an adult, when he went and looked at the book, he realized that his dad just skipped all of that stuff and only read him stuff that actually was interesting and had, I guess, like a big impact to the story. Obviously, like the family history and the history of the country and stuff would have some impact on the story, but the narrative wasn't necessary. And so he just like took it all out. So after I read this, I kind of want to listen to an audiobook or read an unabridged edition just to like see what's different. It doesn't sound like he took out a whole lot. But I'm curious now because I didn't realize, I honestly can't remember if I bought this book or if it was a gift, because it is a very pretty edition, you know, like this is just nice to have on display even. But yeah, it's interesting. So I just got into the story. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, I've watched the movie a million times. I highly recommend you watch the movie. I always watch it when I'm sick. So I'm going to get back into reading while I eat my lunch. Okay, so I have to say I'm really enjoying the humor of this book. The original author, Morgenstern, he puts in parentheses just like a lot of random stuff. So like he'll mention Paris and he'll say, of course that was after Paris. And then there's one part where he says something about stew, and he says this was after stew, but so is everything. When the first man clambered from the slime and made his first home on land, what he had for supper that first night was stew. And then the next page, they mention taxes, and he says this was after taxes, but everything is after taxes. Taxes were here even before stew. I don't know why, but like it's not funny, but it is. I'm amused by it. I like the writing style. The author who abridged it, William Goldman, he put in notes on the abridgment, so occasionally there will be notes, and he said the whole first chapter he didn't touch anything. So this is all Morgenstern. But I think it's funny. Excuse me, I had a little burp. Anyway, back to reading. Well, the groceries have come, so I'm gonna put these away before I go back to reading. But I got some energy drinks in case I need that. And I also got some snacks for tonight. So I got some like hummus, ice cream, spinach is for dinner. I got some like pita chips, they're thin, so I'm hoping I can eat them. There should be some grapes, cherry tomatoes. But yeah, gonna put this away and then get back to reading. Okay, so why do I keep doing this every time I turn on the camera? I need to stop. But when Instacart delivers my groceries, if it's from Albertsons or Safeway, they bring me the Monopoly card, which is kind of nice because when I did Safeway delivery, they didn't bring me anything, and like it was Safeway. But I have a whole lot of these to go through. I don't know why I have so many. You saw the amount of groceries, there wasn't that much, so I don't know why I have so many. But I'm gonna sit and listen to the audiobook while I open these and scan them. Because of COVID, they started, instead of doing a physical Monopoly board, you would just scan it all into the app, so might as well rip these up and listen to an audiobook.
Away from him. Scarlet, they took you, and I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't know if you were dead or if they were. He shuddered. I would have killed every one of them to get to you. I would have done anything to get you back. Knowing that we were coming here was the only thing that kept me sane. His brow creased, though there were a couple of times when I went a little insane anyway. Scarlet nudged him with her elbow. That shouldn't sound as romantic as it does. Dinner is served, said Thorne, coming out of the kitchen with a plate.
Due to the humor in this book, I'm going to go ahead and shade this in. I would say that this is a humorous book, but of course I need to finish the book. Well, it says to complete a challenge you must read 50 pages, so I guess I could already put that in. So I'm going to do that because it's funnier than I thought. I knew that there'd probably be some humor, but there's more than I thought there would be. With that said, I'm also going to mark this as a unique cover. Standalone. Maybe it's set in spring or summer? I can't really tell from the setting, but we might be able to cross that off. We're going to cross this off. Not because of this book, but because of the other book. This one, I think this might be the oldest book on my TBR, so we're going to cross that off. I can't remember if this book was gifted to me or if I bought it, so we're not going to do that. Yeah, that's it for now. Also, I am going to count this as a book published before 2000 because the original publication of this book was before 2000, even though this edition was not. Okay, so for the square where a character has the same characteristics as you, I'm going to say Buttercup, because when I was younger, I hated taking baths and showers. Once I was like in the shower, it was fine, but like I just didn't want to do it. And in the beginning of this book, she like does not want to clean herself. She does not want to clean behind her ears. She doesn't want to brush her hair. She doesn't want to bathe. So we'll say that's a similar characteristic. Now I don't mind it as much. But I would say I do typically take quick showers just to like be done with it. So we'll say that there's a similarity there. That's probably a closer similarity than the scar thing. So yeah. Okay, so I just looked up Morgenstern because I was like, okay, well, what about the unabridged edition? Because this book keeps saying, oh, I cut things here and blah, 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 and I did this. And I'm looking it up. He doesn't exist. So all of this about him being read when he was 10 and stuff like that was just stuff that the author made up and put in the book. Like it's part of the book. And I'm just really confused. Like, it's cool. I don't know. I definitely need to look into it more. So The Princess Bride was actually written by this author, William Goldman, I think. But like on the cover it says S. Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure. I don't know. I need to look into it, but it sounds like basically all this was just a ruse. And like S. Morgenstern doesn't exist. I don't know. I'm very confused now. And now I also want to see an original edition of this. Because, like, does it have all of the commentary? I don't know. I mean, like, there were things that he was saying before that I was like, that doesn't seem correct. Like, that seems false. But I don't know. Yeah, I just did a little more digging, and it's completely made up. And in the movie, this, like, autobiographical stuff in the book is used to frame the narrative. But, like, I love that. And the way that he wrote it made it seem like it was real, but I was also confused because it didn't, like, it kind of didn't add up. There were a few things that was like, that's odd. But, like, he created this whole narrative. It's making me, so, like, I love the movie, but this is making me just love the story and the lore of this story so much more. Sorry, I'm, like, geeking out a little bit, but I just find this absolutely hilarious that the author went this far to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to reading. Okay, so Twitter finally posted a challenge to participate in, and they were asking what animals would be in your menagerie from books that you love. So we have a lion from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, a Balrog, I don't really know if that counts, but I like Balrogs, from Lord of the Rings, and Fluffy the Three-Headed Dog from Harry Potter. So now I can cross that off my bingo board. I'm about 200 pages into The Princess Bride now, but I'm gonna take a break. It's about 5 and listen to the audiobook while I cook dinner. And one of the prompts on the bingo board is to share a recipe on social media. So I'm gonna share the recipe that I'm cooking. It's a creamy Tuscan chicken. Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of a go-to because it's really not that difficult to make and it tastes absolutely amazing. Time now for a little ice cream, a little snack. It is almost 8 p.m. I am about 250 pages through The Princess Bride. Not sure how many pages through Winter, but I have 6 hours left in the audiobook, so I think that's like almost exactly halfway. But I'm gonna try to read until it hits 11 p.m., like physically read until it hits 11 p.m., and then I'll listen to the audiobook, and I should just barely finish the audiobook by the time it's the readathon's over and it's time to go to bed. So that's the plan. Realistically, the most I'll be reading today is The Girl from the Other Side. Maybe I'll finish The Princess Bride. For sure, I should finish Winter. So the max I'll be reading is 3 books, but combined, I'll tally up the pages later, but combined it's more pages than I will have read last year. Even though I think I might have made it through more books, I read smaller books. So there's that. It is 9:45 now, I think, approximately. I think I have about 60 pages left in The Princess Bride, but I am getting tired. I should be able to finish this book, I think, and Winter. And I don't know that I'll finish anything beyond that, but you know what? It's fine with me. But I am getting tired, so we're gonna break into this. I've had Bang energy drinks before, but I've never had this flavor. So there is a spot on the bingo board for enjoying a snack or drink that's new to you, so I'm gonna count that for that and fill that in. We'll see if I can last another 7 hours. Can I do it? Let me know in the comments if you think I'll actually do it. I hope so, but I am getting tired. We've got the fluffy one keeping us company now. Review of the energy drink. Not that you care. but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. It's good. A lot of energy drinks I find are too like pixie stick tasting, and it's just overpoweringly sweet. This has some of the peach mango flavor to it. I wouldn't, it's like peachy, but like not really. It's fruity, but I've had better. I think I have the Monster Peach one in the fridge, and I think that's my favorite, but I haven't had it in a long time, so it's hard to compare to this. Overall, it tastes fine though. It's not like super sweet, it doesn't kick you in the face when you drink it. I would drink it again. So I finished The Princess Bride. If I'm talking weird, it's because I'm also listening to Winter while I'm trying to talk. So I'm multitasking here because I think I have just enough time to finish the Winter audiobook. But I would actually give The Princess Bride 5 stars. I thought it was really good, and I feel like it's one of those where the book and the movie were close enough that like I'm not disappointed with either of them. And I really liked it. I do recommend, if you like the movie, read the book. It's midnight, 5 more hours to go. I'm gonna snack on some popcorn and play video games while I listen to an audiobook, because at that point, it's probably the only way I'm gonna make it to 5 a.m. I know you can't see me, but you will in a second. It's 5 a.m. and it's time for bed. I did manage to read those 3 books, and I got the 1 bingo. I didn't get a blackout because that would have required me also reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But I read 1,399 pages. And last time I read 904, so quite a jump. I think it's just because I listened to Winter on audiobook, and I definitely sped it up faster than I could naturally read anything. So that helped me out. Anyway, I'm tired and a little delirious, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Good night. Bye.